Today we are talking about how to become more confident and comfortable in your body while you're making progress. Now, this question came up for me from a client who's in the fitness project, which is me and my fiance's group coaching program, and I wanted to make a video about it right now because the truth is that confidence is one of the biggest things that so many people are craving when it comes to changing their body. It's one of the biggest motivators, at least that I have seen, that people want. People want to look at their body and see a reflection of what they want. They want to see that their internal world, the way that they feel about themselves, or at least the way that they like to feel about themselves, is the same on the outside as it is on the inside. And it's really about creating waves that remove that judgment and really create space for us to move forward in our lives the way that we want to. And when we're not healthy, when we don't look the way we want, when we feel limited by our confidence, we show up differently in every area of our lives. And so finding confidence is not just about losing weight, and it's not just about thinking yourself into a positive mood. And so today I'm going to give you 7 different tips that will help you create more confidence and comfort with your body in your fitness and lifestyle journey. My name is Brian Pickowicz. I'm a fitness and lifestyle coach. I help people create lasting change with their bodies, their health, and their fitness by implementing new strategic habits that allow them to feel amazing and be more disciplined at the same time. And my hope is that this video brings you value, and if it does, feel free to subscribe below and comment what you got from the video. So the first thing is, we talk about wanting to be more confident with our body. We talk about wanting to have more comfort in our skin. The first thing that you have to really decide is to change what you don't like about yourself. Now, this sounds harsh. This sounds like an over-the-top motivational message. And I want to pull back before I actually dive into what that means for you and go to my own story and my own life. Now, I used to compete in bodybuilding. I competed in bodybuilding for 3 years. I was pretty good at it, and I won a couple junior contests. I placed second in my last contest, which is a big show in Los Angeles, and it was something I was really passionate about. But I realized that the long-term trajectory that it was leaving me down wasn't in alignment with my heart and where I wanted to be. And although I still have a fit, strong physique, after I stepped away from bodybuilding, I had an injury, and if I'm being completely transparent, my relationship with food wasn't perfect. It wasn't where I am now. And it took me 2 years to mend that relationship because I was so used to being able to eat 2,000 calories. I would go train for 2 hours or 3 hours, or 4,000 calories, like 3,000 to 4,000 calories. And I would train so much that my relationship with food was never something I had to establish. And once I stepped away, I started to put on body fat. I started to get bigger, and I wasn't training the same way, so my body didn't look the same way. And what I found is for the next 8 months to really a year, I was constantly trying to lose weight, trying to get back to where I wanted to be, and judging myself for not looking the way that I wanted to. And my energy was different. My confidence was different. I didn't feel like I was holding my own standard to myself, and that was really where I was losing confidence. And I think that that's the truth. From my perspective, it's not that when we look at our body, we're like, oh my God, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, this, that, and the other thing. It's not always wrapped up in that. It's that we're not holding our own word to ourselves. We're not holding our own reputation to ourselves. We're not looking the way that we want to, and we know it's because we're not taking action. And so, from my perspective, it took me having an honest conversation with, like, hey, how do I actually want to look? What's practical right now? What matters the most to me? And how am I going to reestablish my reputation with myself? And fast forward, I now look the way that I want. I still train. I still am active. I eat the food that I want. I have a balanced lifestyle approach. And it came down to taking responsibility for it and changing it. And I think that the thing that I see so often in the fitness and wellness space is that we're told to just accept how we are. Like, oh, it's just how you are. And it's not about not accepting who you are. It's not about beating yourself up for being overweight or beating yourself up for not having the perfect body or anything. But at the same time, you can acknowledge that you want to have a better body. You can acknowledge that you want to be more fit, or you want to be stronger, or you want to look a certain way. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so what I articulate it as is discipline versus grace. You want to have discipline to follow through on the things that matter to you, and grace to establish if things don't go perfectly, it's okay. because you're on this journey forever. And when we see that, then it gives us more space to actually change what we don't like about ourselves. And that's okay, because none of us are perfect. And so I say that as the first point because I don't think it's just as simple as new strategies. We have to change. And so if we want to be more confident, start with the things that don't make you feel confident. And it isn't just about our body. Like, if you're not confident in speaking situations, then how can you go change that? If you're not confident in networking to other people, how can you go change that? If you're not confident in your approach at work, how can you change that? Because avoiding it and just walking away and running away, it's not a long-term strategy for happiness. And I want to say that before we really dive into the other strategies, because without addressing head-on what we need to face, then nothing gets solved. And so that's the first point. Change it. If you don't like your body, if you don't like something about you, then work to change it. It might take time. There's things about me that I'm still working on every single day, and I will be continuing to work on them every single day. But that's okay, because that's life. That's okay. So the second point is going to be separating our body image and our body. So if you want to be more confident in your fitness and health, I find it to be really helpful to see that we have a body and we have a body image. So your body is your physical body. It's your muscle, it's how much body fat you have, it's the way you physically look. And then our body image is our perception of ourselves. And I think the challenge for so many people, from what I've perceived and what I've seen as a coach, is that we are told to just treat the body or just treat the body image. Like, just do one or the other. But they're really more like two cars driving on the highway together. If we take our body and we go here and our body image is back here, we're just dieting, we're so disciplined, but we're not looking at how we can be confident with our body at the same time. We're not looking at how we can change our internal dialogue. We're not really addressing that aspect of us. What happens is we reach our weight loss goal, and then we have to circle back to this point, because this is where our mindset's at. Whereas at the same time, we reach here and we still are unsatisfied with our body. The best way, though, to move forward is to approach them at the same time. Or like this. Maybe they ebb and flow. A good example of this was from a conversation I had with one of my clients who has done amazing. She lost about 65 pounds in a little under a year, and now she's maintaining really well. And it's so amazing to coach her and have the conversations we do. But I remember we had a coaching call, and she said, well, I weigh, I think at that point she was like 185 pounds or so. And she's like, well, I need to lose another 10 pounds in order to feel the most confident in my dress. And I was like, well, does the dress fit now? She's like, yeah, it fits fine. It fits really good. I said, well, what if you wear the dress out right now? What if you felt confident in that dress right now? Can you wear it and have it fit the way that you like it to? She's like, yeah, it fits me. I actually tried it on the other day. But I'm still nervous because I don't look as good as I could. And so I asked her, I said, would you be comfortable with the challenge for me? She's like, yeah, of course. I said, I challenge you to just wear it somewhere else. Doesn't mean you have to go out and like promote it to the world. Just go and wear it to the grocery store. Go and wear it to the hairdresser. Go wear it somewhere that you feel like is safe. And she said, okay, that's a challenge, but I'm going to do it. This is the coolest part. She wears a dress to her, I think it was her hairdresser, and the hairdresser was like, oh my God, this dress looks so amazing. You look so amazing. How, like, this is phenomenal to see you wearing this, because she had seen her when she was 65 pounds heavier, and she hadn't seen her wear a dress like that. She's like, you need to wear that out. This is where it gets cool. So she has that confidence boost. And then she goes out with her friends that night. She wore the dress. I got a photo in her report the next day and said, I decided to wear the dress. Thank you so much. I feel so confident. And the point is that if we see the two as separate entities, then we can fluctuate on what's real and what's not real. So for instance, if you're saying like, I need to be 10 pounds lighter in order for me to feel my most confident. So okay, well, what's stopping you from feeling confident right now? It's not 10 pounds. Okay, well, this shirt doesn't fit the way I want it to. Okay, is that real? Could you wear the shirt out right now? Is there a way that you could test that comfort zone? And by seeing body image, self-dialogue over here, and then body over here, we can approach them differently. We don't get lumped all together. Because if we're just focusing on weight loss, it's really easy to step on the scale. Oh, I lost all my weight. And then nothing happens. I articulate it as, it's like making a bunch of money. If you want to make a bunch of money, but you don't have anything that's charitable, you don't have anything that's good to do with your money, if you don't have anything that excites you and you're not doing anything with it, but you just have money, great, you have the money. It's probably pretty empty. And so that balance of understanding how the two are separate is one of the most essential ways to start to build real confidence. Now, once we see that, then we want to celebrate the small wins. So number 3, celebrate those small wins by seeing where you're making progress. Did you show up at the gym? Celebrate that. Feel good about it. Did you lose weight? Celebrate it. Feel good about it. I hate when people are like, oh, well, it's only half a pound, it's only a pound, it's only 2 pounds. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's not only, it is. And don't discredit the progress you're making because you're making it. You're making the progress. You're doing the right thing. You're doing what you need to do. And that's a step in the right direction. Now, when I say celebrate your progress, a lot of times people be like, oh, well, we need to delay gratification. I don't believe that with this. Because it's not about instant gratification. It's about feeling good about understanding what you're doing for yourself, because we're told that we're not supposed to feel good about this, that we should be ashamed or we should hate our body, and it's not about that. It's about feeling good in our skin, feeling good and celebrating what our body does. So celebrate your small wins. Now, it doesn't mean you go and reward yourself with food for every pound you lose. I actually think that food shouldn't be a reward. I don't think it's helpful. I don't think you should lose 10 pounds and then go out for a cheat meal. It's like, nah. Just eat food that you like while you're losing weight. Schedule it, plan for it, make sure it's appropriate for your goals, control your portions. But when I say celebrate the wins, maybe you reward yourself with something else. Maybe you go and get a spa day or a massage, or you go on a date, or you go and you just tell people. It can be as simple as that. But celebrate the small wins and you'll be in a better position with your confidence too. Next point is going to be test your comfort zone. So I kind of alluded to this with the dress situation, but test your comfort zone. See with what you can do that's just barely outside your comfort zone. I was having a conversation with another client, which is actually where this conversation or this question came from. They were like, oh, well, I can never take my shirt off at the beach. Okay, valid. I understand that feeling. What could you do that isn't, like if you're here, maybe you're here and taking your shirt off at the beach is here. What is here? What's just outside your comfort zone? What is it? Posting your photos on social media? Is it wearing a different shirt? Maybe it's throwing out all the shirts that you don't like anymore and having to buy a new wardrobe. Is it clothes shopping? Test your comfort zone. Test your comfort zone and do comfort zone, I call them comfort zone tests, so that you're incrementally becoming stronger. There's a study that talks about fear, and it's not that when we see a phobia or we see a fear that the fear disappears by seeing it and addressing it. It's that we get stronger to address the fear in time. So if you're starting the process of feeling more confident, test your comfort zone. If you want to go and you have a challenge with talking to someone, go and talk to one person you don't know. Don't go talk to 50. Don't go try to storm into a networking event and get everyone's cards. Talk to one person. And then what happens is you'll be able to talk to 2 people. And everything will steamroll from there. That's how momentum happens. We don't jump from here to here. We jump from here to here. And that's enough. And then from there, I encourage you to take progress photos. The amount of times that I've had clients that have felt like they haven't seen any progress, and then we compare their progress photos and they're like, whoa, I did not realize how much progress I was actually making until you sent those, is a staggering amount. The reason why it's staggering is because we're the only ones that see our bodies. Right? Maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a significant other, but you see your body every day. You don't see it changing. I take progress photos still. I want to see, hey, where am I at? Am I holding myself accountable? Cool thing though is that it shows you your progress, and it's also an establishment of ownership. You take progress photos, you're establishing you want to change. One of my favorite things to say to a client is when they text me in their first progress photos, sometimes they'll say like, oh my God, that was so uncomfortable. I can't believe that I did that. I didn't want to. And I will say, hey, it's fine, because you'll never see that person again. You'll never be there again. And that's what happens. They change their body, they change their approach. And being able to compare those two is a definite mark of how far you've gone. So take progress photos. And then number 6 is share those progress photos. If you're wanting to be more confident, find somewhere you can share the progress photos. Doesn't have to be on social media, but maybe you share progress photos with someone else. Maybe you text your best friend, say, hey, I really want to share this with someone. I've been doing this thing and I haven't really done it. Put it out to the universe. Put it out to someone. It's another comfort zone test, but it's going to heed massive amounts of comfort and confidence with your body. The reason why is, first off, you want to get a trusting source, but if you have someone that you trust, they're going to affirm you. Find someone to affirm you, whether it's a coach or a trainer or a best friend or a Facebook community, or maybe it's your full social media page. I had a client who shared her progress photos and she got like almost 500 likes because they were so amazing. And she's like, that established for me who I was in this new journey. It brought her body image right up to the present. So share your progress photos and feel good about them. And when you get that feedback, it's so positive. People will celebrate you and you deserve it. Now, the last thing I think is so important is, if you're challenged with confidence, change your environment. Our language, our dialogue, everything that we have comes from other people. So there's this book, it's actually right here. It's one of my favorite books. It's something I suggest so many clients to read, The 4 Agreements. So in this book, essentially it talks about how the agreements that we make, or the beliefs that we have, is from Don Ruiz. The beliefs that we hold on to, the thoughts that we have, are typically given to us by other people. And if you've ever been around negative people, which I imagine you have, it's really challenging to break the spell of negativity when someone's always complaining. If you're around people who aren't confident and they're always complaining about their body and how they can't change their body and how they hate the way they look, what do you think it's going to say about you? Or how do you think that's going to reflect in your dialogue? I know for me, if I'm around people who are complaining all the time, or if I'm around people who are, for lack of a better term, toxic towards each other or themselves, I tend to leave that situation feeling less likely to move myself forward. It's almost upsetting. And that's not a critique of those people, but we don't have to hang around them if it's dragging us down. If it's negative for us, we can detach and put ourselves in a different space. So if you're someone who's not feeling the most confident and you look at your circle and it's people who are constantly dragging themselves down, maybe they're overweight too, and they're talking about how they hate their body, or they're being really negative about their body, then you don't have to surround yourself with that environment. And you can put yourself in a different environment. So if you watching this video, you've put yourself in a different environment. You are here watching this video. That's amazing, and I'm so excited to be here with you. But you can change your environment in other ways too. You can show up at a party, you can show up at a networking event, you can show up at the gym, you can join a Facebook community, you can hire a coach, you can join a different gym that's like Soul Cycle or Orange Theory or whatever. But find a way to change your environment, because when you change your environment, the environment changes you. And by doing that, it creates waves of progress. For me, change environment, I grew up in a town of 750 people in the smallest place in New Hampshire. Middle of nowhere. My change of environment was when I did my first bodybuilding competition. Me and my friend, we flew to, he had a photo shoot in Oregon. And then we drove down to Los Angeles. And I was like, this is life-changing, I want to live here. And then I took another trip by myself to Los Angeles. And I was really intentional about putting myself in spaces that expanded my horizons. And that change of environment changed me. And my hope is that if you change your environment, it tests your comfort zone and pushes you out there in a confident way and allows you to change who you are too. So these are my 7 tips for changing your confidence and feeling comfortable in your skin. Let me know what the one stands out the most to you. And thank you so much for being here. My name is Brian Pickowicz. Subscribe to this channel if you love it. Comment below which one helps you the most. And just remember to keep your pace and to be a light. I'll see you.